Welcome back to another episode of Front Row Cinema, a movie podcast for movie lovers by movie lovers. I am your host, TJ Trimboli, and with me, as always, my co-host from pharmaceutical firm Wexel Hall. I got Dr. James O'Reilly in the house tonight.
Yeah, we should have cut those guys loose when we had the chance. I don't know how they really convinced us.
Yeah, man, that expedition must have put you back some, all the way down to Borneo, like 7 researchers, hard death, like must be eating the grind right now.
Yeah, they did cure the common cold for us, so I guess that's something. Like,
Silver linings, I guess. And each week we take a look at my 1,000 movies I've seen in theaters and we see how well it's aged, along with the hype surrounding the film, its box office analysis, and legacy in the film industry. So if you enjoy this kind of content, hit that sub button on YouTube, leave that 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's how you help the channel grow. Jim, what are we watching tonight?
we're watching a movie that's really going to test the limits of our friendship, I think. Because what I kept saying to myself as I was watching this was like, I couldn't believe that this actually was released in theaters. Like, I thought that you were potentially playing some kind of prank on me. But I guess it probably was. But anyway, it's Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid.
Oh, yeah, my Anaconda don't want none unless you got Blood Orchid, son.
Yikes.
Yeah, the 2004
That was
horror film.
tough.
I didn't hit for you, Jim. Fine. You never really did care for my singing abilities. But yeah, we're doing the 2004 sequel to Anaconda, directed by Dwight H. Little, written by four, count 'em, four people, Jim. John Claflin, Daniel Zellman, Michael Miner, and Edward Newmeyer, and starring Morris Chestnut, Johnny Messner, and Matthew Marsden. Did it shock you to see that it took four people to write this movie?
No, I was like, it ran in the opening credits, and it was like, it looked like it was two screenwriting groups of screenwriting partners that wrote it.
Which is still absurd.
And then potentially even a fifth guy was in the opening credits. And I was kind of just like, yep, that makes sense. That's kind of what I was expecting. Like that really tracks for what I think this movie is going to be.
Everybody needed to take a pass at it. All right, this was that important to the Anaconda franchise. We got our DVD cover here, Jim, and they couldn't help themselves. Steve Chupnick from TV Fox wrote a slithering good time.
Oh boy.
No, could not help himself right there. But we got our lovely log line on the back here, and it reads: "The blood orchid, a rare flower that holds the secret of eternal life and a fortune to the pharmaceutical company that finds it. Led by a two-fisted soldier of fortune, a scientific expedition is sent deep into the jungles of Borneo to locate and bring back samples of the legendary plant. Battling their way upriver, the explorers brave poisonous insects, ferocious crocodiles, and savage headhunters, unaware they're being stalked by an even greater danger, a nest of giant anacondas."
Yeah, I don't even think it brought half of those things that you just said though.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't remember them actually running into headhunters at any point in this movie.
no, they like went to their village maybe, but no, the village people weren't even headhunters. They like talked about headhunters, and somebody was like, "They haven't been around for hundreds of years."
Yeah,
Like,
but listen, logline's got a logline, all right? It's got to get us there. Now, Jim, I'm assuming naturally this had to be a first time watch for you.
yeah, I've never seen this movie. I'm very disappointed that I now have seen this movie,
I tell you,
and I'm gonna need a second, so you go ahead.
I'm gonna say I couldn't be prouder to have finally brought this movie to the fold for you, and once again bring you another all-time classic for you to watch.
Yeah, well, that's why you're a scoundrel. You take pride in things like this. It's a travesty.
Oh yeah, oh I'm a scoundrel, all right. You got no people, no people, huh? Han
Han
Solo.
Solo. Maybe the worst moment in movie history.
And that's saying something, considering we just watched Anaconda's Hunt for the Blood Orchid.
Yeah, no, honestly, you might have just given this movie an extra half a star in my rating by bringing up
That's
the Han Solo line.
that's what I'm here to do, man. I saw Anaconda's The Hunt for the Blood Orchid. Me and Blank went and saw this the night before school started. We saw this September 5th, a Sunday. Actually, we didn't go at night. We just saw the 2:30 p.m. show because
Wow.
if there's one thing we needed to do to get ready for school, we needed something to talk about for the first day of school. We needed a good icebreaker. And
Yeah,
what better
I mean,
icebreaker could there be than Anacondas?
I guess at least you guys gave it a shot to find one, but A for effort, I suppose. I'm not really sure you got anything to talk about with this one.
Oh, we had stuff to talk about, Jim, because I remember when him and me saw this back then, we were pretty in. We were like, that was pretty good, man. That was pretty solid. And it just goes to show, like,
Jesus.
when you're 14 years old, you're kind of an idiot.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, I was a big fan of the first one. Are you a big fan of the first one? Do you like the original Anaconda?
Yeah, yeah. It's not like my favorite, but it's definitely like watchable. It's good.
Yeah, I think the first one is a really fun B movie, which is what I think this movie was then trying to like emulate, and was just like, what if instead of a B movie, we were a D movie? And they were like, do it. They're like, what if we hired no actual stars?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. It felt very much like a straight to DVD sequel, didn't it? Like there was like
It did.
nobody really in it. It felt very phoned in. Like, and we'll get into more of that later, but like it blew my mind that this was a theatrical release.
No, well, I think they learned their lesson after that because then the sequel to this one, I think, did go straight to DVD.
Did they learn their lesson?
And
Did
I
they
mean,
make
listen,
a whole nother one?
yeah, I don't know if they learned their lesson because there was three television sequels. There was Anaconda 3 Offspring, Anaconda's Trail of Blood, and Lake Placid versus Anaconda. All classics. And Jim
Yikes.
actually
That's honestly incredible. Some of those.
it's very interesting that we're doing this now because at the end of this year, there is another Anaconda movie coming out starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd.
Is it going
And
to be a comedy?
it's
That
like a
sounds like it's
horror.
going to be a comedy.
Yeah, it's a horror comedy, and it's a reimagining of the original film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And start Jack Black, Paul Rudd, Steve Zahn, Thandie Newton, quite a cast. But
That is quite a cast, actually.
I don't know how you make that work. I mean, I'm at least interested because like you got actual stars in it, but I don't know how we make that work.
I would say that they're doing the only move that could possibly work, which is they're leaning into the fact that the first one isn't really to be taken seriously. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, you're telling me an anaconda spitting out John Voight after it's ingested him and he winks like isn't like top tier serious cinema?
no, it's not. It's exactly what I'm telling you. It's not that.
I am shocked and dismayed, I tell you. Much like I was shocked and dismayed to learn about the box office run this movie has. Let's cue it up, Jim. Let's dive into some box office numbers.
Numbers, dates, and numbers, numbers, dates, hooray. Dates, numbers. Show me the money.
All right.
How was that segue? Did that work for you?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It
Better,
wasn't
better,
bad. I give it
better,
like
than,
a 6.5 out of 10.
better than the
Definitely,
singing?
definitely got the job done.
There we go. All right. So I just listen, not everyone's gonna hit, but I'm gonna bring them around.
Anacondas is going to open the weekend of August 27th through August 29th. And I know what you're thinking. Don't worry, not a 5-day opening, just a
You're right.
regular old weekend.
That is the weekend before Labor Day, Jim?
Yeah, as long as Labor Day is the one that's in September.
Oh boy.
It's going to open that weekend against a budget of $20 million, which I
Which
mean, good on them for that. They at least understand that much.
good on them for keeping it low, but goddamn, does it like do I not see it anywhere? They must have spent that entire 20 million on the like horrific CGI anacondas.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, I think you're probably right. And I think the real smart move here was realizing that they didn't need to spend 60 million doing that and putting the snakes in the movie a bunch more. Like they were just like, you know what?
But like
Let's just keep it low. We'll like do some point of view shots. That'll be spooky.
they're like, you know how much money we can save by not bringing Jennifer Lopez back?
A lot of money in
Yeah,
2004,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, a lot of money. They're like,
But
That's Borneo money, baby. We shoot on location with that money.
yeah, I think they shot this in Fiji. I noticed there was like special thanks to like the government of Fiji in the credits.
Ooh, all right. Good stand-in right there.
Yeah.
All right, fine. So Fiji, they got Fiji money.
Yeah,
You ain't getting
Fiji.
Fiji money hiring J-Lo and Ice Cube to come back.
No, absolutely not. You're probably also not getting J-Lo to fly to Fiji to film this in the jungle.
Also true. Yeah, probably, definitely.
um, but against that $20 million budget, it's going to open in second place with $12.8 million.
Dude, oh, oof.
I'm
Like,
not
yeah,
going to give it the whammy because they didn't spend that much to make this, and it's like a end of August movie. Like this is right around where it should be, right?
yeah, we're coming in on the low end of our list here. That 12.8 coming in the number 74 spot behind New Year's Day's 13 million and ahead of Black Knight 11.2.
Yeah, so it's down there, yeah.
Down there. It
But
ain't
I have
good.
a sneaking suspicion this movie's going to end up being pretty profitable for them. We'll see how it goes.
See how it goes from Cotton.
It like I said, it came in second. It's going to lose out to what I am officially locking in as my pick.
No, no, it's too early. Ease yourself.
Okay, fine. All right, I won't lock it in. Wink, wink.
You son of a bitch. You sack of one.
I won't lock it in. Double wink. You guys, it's totally up for grabs. Don't worry.
Oh, all right, what is it? Let me hear it.
It's gonna lose out to also opening that weekend. First place, the movie Hero,
You son of a bitch.
starring Jet Li, which I know for a fact I saw this in theaters with my dad because my dad loved Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and somehow he thought this movie would be similar to that.
Amazing. I think you had mentioned this movie prior because I think we talked about it because I had said I'd never seen it.
It's come up, yeah, it's
Yeah,
come up, and
yeah.
if I don't know that it's good, but I know that if you haven't seen it, you should see it. That's what I
Great,
know.
great. They're like, why do collateral when you can do hero?
Well, listen, I only get one pick every 10 episodes. Let's not blame the victim here. We're not doing Collateral because you didn't see Collateral, okay? Like
All
don't
right,
don't pin this on me.
all right. Let's take it easy. All right, take it easy.
Down here in third place is the second weekend of Without a Paddle with 8.5 million.
Oh, now we're talking.
The only other notable opening here, which is another movie that I am absolutely astonished was released in theaters, down here in 11th place, Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2, which,
We really just put out heaters back then. What in
let's,
August?
let me just tell you this. You are lucky I'm thinking about locking in Heroes, because that would be the pick, man. I've seen that
Oh
movie
boy.
before, and it is wild.
I think I've only seen the first one, which already seems like too much to have seen.
Yeah, they're another movie where you need to see it if you haven't seen it. Like,
Man, people talk about making crap today. Like, man, we made crap back then too, baby. Like we made crap.
but that's another movie. I'm like, I could have sworn that Baby Geniuses 2 was a direct to DVD, but alas, here we are.
Dude, end of August was a pipeline, baby. They were like, what do we got that we need to just get rid of? Like just chuck it out there.
Yeah. So going into weekend two, Anacondas is going to drop down to third place, 49.9% drop down to 6.4 million.
Okay.
It beats out in fourth place the opening weekend of Paparazzi, which did you see Paparazzi?
Paparazzi. That's the one with Mel Gibson, right? No, Mel Gibson produced it. It's Cole Hauser, right?
Yes, I
Yes.
believe
Yeah.
it is Cole Hauser, yes.
Yes. I did see that, dude. Dude, they don't call it the dog days of summer for nothing, Jim. We're
Right.
getting classics right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that we are. But you did not see Paparazzi or
I didn't see it in theaters. I have seen the movie.
okay, okay.
Rest
That was
rest
supposed to.
easy, Jim, and we did not see it in theaters.
It's gonna beat out the opening weekend. I think you've seen this movie like two or three times. Down here in fifth place, The Cookout.
Oh yeah, definitely. Very familiar with the cookout.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like and not to toot my own horn, but very familiar with the cookout.
yeah. I'm
May,
sure.
may have been invited to a few in my day.
Oh wow, wow, yeah. I bet you have. Going into weekend three of Anacondas, it's going to drop down to sixth place. 56.3% drop down to 2.8 million. Not a lot of staying power here.
Yeah, we're sinking.
But again, we are in August, and I
There's
am
no way we're
pretty. I
still
am
in
gonna.
August.
I will say one of these. Oh no, we're in the middle of September, but you know what I'm saying. Like we're in like the fall. It's terrible.
Late August just goes on for miles. You never see an end.
Yeah, right. August doesn't actually end until September 19th. It's a little known fact.
Everyone
Little
knows
known
this.
fact.
This is known.
Uh, it's good. One of these two movies I am calling as our next movie. I'm gonna
Okay.
start with the one I'm really hoping it is. In
Okay.
second place, Cellular.
No, Jim, I actually did not see that in theaters.
Dude, this
But
is becoming. I gotta get more than one pick, dude.
all
There's too many.
it's an all-timer of a movie for sure. You're right.
And then if you didn't see Cellular, I'm almost 100% sure we saw this, or you saw this, Resident Evil Apocalypse.
Oh, sorry to say, Jim.
You
I
did.
did I
You
did see Resident Evil
I
Apocalypse.
knew it. You son of a bitch.
You son of a Dylan, you son of a bitch. Did you see Cellular in theaters?
I don't think that I did, but again, you don't know that.
God damn it, he's right.
I dare you to
Logic
call me out
against
on
her.
it.
You're calling me a liar? Are you saying we're not friends anymore? I
All
don't
right,
think
so
I could bear it.
next week is going to be Resident Evil Apocalypse. Oh the joy. I'm
Oh
so
yeah,
happy.
Jim. Oh, yeah, we're continuing this great trend of great movie after great movie.
Dude, you know what? You made a very good call telling me not to lock this in because are so many things we need to throw into the running, right? We'll talk about it.
All right. Well, yeah. We'll talk. We'll get there. We'll see what
Weekend
you come up with.
four, Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid is going to drop all the way down to 12th place with 1.6 million.
My God.
And you know what? We'll stop there. We'll bring up these other ones another week.
Yeah. What week was that?
That was weekend four.
Weekend four, dude. So we're just continuing the trend of all of these summer movies only spending 4 weeks in the top 10.
This is not really a summer movie. I'm sorry.
All right, fine, Jim. All right. The tail end, the dog days, the
It's
Labor
a
Day
movie
shuffle.
that when it was conceived, they dreamed that one day it might be a summer movie, and somewhere before they actually released it, they were like, "No, actually, it's not."
We're like, this will run Labor Day. There's nothing that'll get people more hyped up for the end of the summer to go back to school than a couple of
Nothing says Labor Day
concerts.
like down on their luck riverboat captains.
Oh, man, that's all right. So it joins a few other movies in the 4 weeks. Pretty much take your pick of any movie we've done over the summer, and it's there. So it's joining the legion of past movies that we've done in the past previous weeks, all at 4 weeks in the top 10. And I shudder to hear it, Jim. What are our totals looking like here?
All right, domestic, it's going to finish with 32.2 million.
Yikes.
Rough, yeah. I mean, makes back its budget, I suppose.
They're like, thank God we didn't pay for J-Lo.
Yeah. Honestly, if J-Lo was in it, maybe it would have been better. I don't know.
Yeah.
International market has saved the day more than a few
What?
times over our last bunch of
Oh,
episodes.
okay. What did it do?
Anacondas only pulls in 38.8 million. Let's say
Oh,
38.8 million
all right. All
internationally.
right. Still,
For a
okay.
worldwide total of like just a little bit under 71 million.
Boy, oh boy. Well, I
Tough.
mean, yeah, tough. You didn't hit that 100 million threshold that you're hoping for. I don't know if it's an outright bomb because you only spent 20 million on it. Maybe he makes them up an ancillary market. I mean, they must have because they make three more direct-to-DVD sequels. So there's some Joe Schmoes out there buying it. Not me though. I found that DVD. I didn't buy it, Jim. I promise.
Yeah, I bet you didn't.
Wink, wink. I promise.
We
I'm not the
know
only
that
one who
you
can
didn't
wink
have
over
it.
here.
I'm no Sherlock Holmes, but I think you might have it.
And so Anacondas is going to fall into the number 72 spot here on our list. So down towards the bottom again here. Behind the Rundowns, 80.9, but ahead of Holes, 71.4. And I know Mr. Sir would not be too happy to see Snakes back around his movie again.
Huh?
That's right, Mr. Sir.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't know. This feels like the floor for what would have been a success. Like, if this obviously isn't like a home run, they didn't make like a ton at the box office, but like you said, the ancillary market's probably pretty good. This is like why they only spent $20 million because they're like, this movie has to make at least like 80 million, and then plus all the DVD stuff. So I don't know. I think this is like not anything flashy, but they're probably pretty happy with it overall.
I think for what they spent, they got back what they wanted. Unfortunately, they can't say the same for the reception. 26% from the critics, 27% from the audience. We were neck and neck with the critics. Nobody was digging on this bad boy.
It's
Four,
definitely a bad sign if you don't like for movies like this that are stupid, if the audience score isn't like at least 60, it's really bad. Because like
really bad.
there's plenty of dumb people out there who love movies like this.
That will watch like crap cinema and like get enjoyment out of it. Because like good for you. If you like shitty cinema and that's your jam, like power to you. But the fact that we didn't find any of those people for this movie, like not a good sign for Anacondas. A 4.7 from IMDb, and the death sentence, a B cinema score.
Yikes.
Which honestly, the B even feels high. Like we got a C plus for the village, but this got a B. Like,
Yeah, the village is definitely should be wondering about that, I think.
yeah,
But again, the village goes for the twist ending and it misses, which leaves a real bad taste in people's mouths. So I don't
it
know.
is
I think it
true.
kind of makes sense.
It is true. Yeah. So I guess that fits. It all fits. And then we got some user reviews here, Jim. And do you
Oh
want to
boy.
take you want to take a guess on some stabs? Like, what do you think the people will be lamenting about tonight?
I mean, it's an easy one, I feel like. It's gonna be a not my anaconda. And then maybe with a little bit of like, of course, the corporation is the bad guy, like that kind of thing, you know?
Oh yeah. All right. Well, let's see what kind of people we got here tonight. Our first one star writes, I've heard that the budget was 25 million, but they obviously couldn't afford enough rain for a proper rainy season. There are even hacked in scenes where daylight can be seen, although the action should be happening in darkness. Not to mention CGI snakes less convincing than the one which took out Sunnydale High in Buffy season 4. There is nothing redeeming about this film whatsoever. Not even the monkey, who does not interact with the human characters for the entire second half of the film, yet is still shown screaming when anything scary happens. Oh, and by the by, anacondas are native to South America. So are the natives who appear in the completely irrelevant sequence to start the movie. Take a look at your globe to see how far we are from Borneo, Indonesia.
Wait, is Borneo in Indonesia?
I guess. Fuck if
Wow,
I
I had
know.
no idea.
Yeah, fuck if I know where Borneo is. I'm not Jim. I'm just some foolish American. I'm an ignorant American who don't know nothing about
Yeah,
nothing.
could have fooled me. I thought they were in the rainforest the whole time.
Borneo is a giant rugged island in Southeast Asia, Indonesia.
Wow.
Yeah, who knew? Go figure. So I guess this man was cooking then.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I just he did have a little bit of the not my anaconda in there. He just was doing it for like actual real life anacondas. Like it wasn't for the original movie. He was like, wait a second, that's not what snakes do.
He's like, I've watched a lot of documentaries on anacondas, all right? So I'm kind of a buffer on this, and I don't think so. South America, I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's hard for me to argue with anybody who gave this movie a 1 star, and he didn't say anything crazy, so I think that guy is cooking. Official verdict.
All right. Yeah, we'll give it to him. We have our next reviewer who simply writes, for those of you who want to see this movie, go buy a snake and let it bite you. It would be way more fun.
Is that it?
Yep, cooking.
Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad, guy. Not bad. Oh, I love it. And then we got one last 1 star here, Jim. And they write they're gonna piggyback off of an earlier guy. They write, where did the anacondas come from? A native snake species from South America in the nation of Borneo? How did they get there? Back to the more important question. If ancient tribes people living in the region known as Borneo have passed on traditions and legends concerning anacondas for like generations, how in the fuck did the snakes get there? The Amazon River basin is like thousands of miles away. Do screenwriters not understand distance? Is science not important? Geography not important? Do you not care about this stuff? What does this mean anymore?
Like, check yes to basically everything, every question that guy just asked. Like,
What does it all mean, Jim?
is geography not important? Nope, not in a movie.
Definitely not in a movie.
What was the other stuff? It was geography. Was it like
Geography, science. Do you not
yeah,
care about
science?
stuff
Nope, not
happening?
important. Not important. None
Do
of
we
it.
not do we not care about stuff happening?
Nope, not at all, actually.
Yeah, nope, don't think so. Sorry, friend, but none of that stuff matters anymore.
Yeah, does any of it get in the way of a snake biting someone's head off? Then lose it.
Yeah,
Like,
right? Is geography important? No, I'm an ignorant American.
yeah.
Never was, never will be.
I can't even
Amazon
name
is
all
just the thing
50
I get my
states.
packages from. Now we switch it over to our 10 stars, Jim. Which the fact that there are even any of them.
I feel like this is where this is going to be a really interesting one because I do think we're going to find some crazy people, and this is going to be a good week for trying to guess if they're trolls or not.
Yeah. So we'll start with this first person. And they write, it's been a long time since I've seen a movie with an intelligent set of characters.
Oh boy.
Yes, the movie is set up on the time-worn premise of greed getting you into life-threatening danger, but the cast makes it work. It's nice to see a group of people that keep their wits about them and not just become mindless, screaming bags of flesh when confronted with danger. You have your mix of characters that you want to see get eaten and those you want to live. I had my own doubts about this movie, but because I didn't like the first. Now I'm glad I let my friends talk me into seeing it. It's the Lawrence of Arabia of snake movies. It's a great monster movie.
The Lawrence of Arabia of snake movies is so insane.
What a gotta be the craziest.
It
The
doesn't
crazy.
make any sense whatsoever.
It's like one, I don't believe for a second this person's watched Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah, no. That guy, official verdict, troll. That guy's trolling.
Gotta be. Like kicking it off with it's been a long time since I've seen a movie with an intelligent set of characters. Like, guy, like, nope, not
Right.
buying that one.
But no, like I was listening and I was in for a little bit because like I was like, oh yeah, maybe he's kind of cooking. And then I got to the Lawrence of Arabia, the Lawrence of Arabia of snake movies, and it's like, okay, this guy's just trolling like real people who really like old movies, right? Like that's it. Like
Gotta be. It's gotta be. It's like, what, you like really slow movies in the desert? Like, nah, we got snake
yeah,
movies, baby.
you're a movie buff. Watch while I compare Anacondas to Lawrence of Arabia. I bet you that gets you mad, doesn't it?
Got you seething yet, boy? All right. Let's find out if our next person, Strawberries and Cream 44, troll or real. And they write, many people would say that the second Anacondas is really dodgy, stupid, and you feel less intelligent after watching it. Well, I must say, I disagree. This movie is so dodgy and stupid, but that's what makes it awesome. I mean, come on, people. A movie about giant snakes eating people is never going to be educational. Who cares? All the characters are lovable, and there's lots of man candy. The captain,
Oh, here
beautiful
we
blue
go.
eyes. The Asian guy is hot and buff. And there is even a cute little monkey. The effects aren't even that bad. They have much
Wait a
improved
second.
since the first one anyway. All the characters provide interest, and the storyline is not half bad. There are heaps of good lines, such as, "Did I say no commitments? I meant marry me." So, really, in my opinion, this is an awesome movie, and you guys just don't get it.
No way. This is
Got 'em, baby.
amazing. They ended with the thing. They said the thing.
They said the thing, baby. That's an all timer right there.
Yeah. So,
Hitting all
am
the
I to
points of our 10-star
understand?
bingo.
Is she counting the little monkey as part of the man candy? Like, there didn't seem like a big divider there.
I'm really hoping not, Jim, but that's kind of how it read.
That's how it read, right? I'm not being crazy here.
No, no, it like she went from the captain has beautiful blue eyes to the hot Asian guy being buff to a cute little monkey.
Right? Like, he was like the last part of the Oxford comma, right?
The
Like, that.
triangle of hotness in this movie. Captain Asian monkey.
I don't think that was a troll. I think that was real.
Strawberries and cream. Listen, man. They
Maybe
were,
maybe I'm just blind because I really want it to be real, but I think it was real.
oh man. Well, I hope wherever they are out there, they've gotten the help they've needed for thinking monkeys are attractive.
Yeah,
But
we kudos for getting to the it's our first week back in the how could you not like this movie? There's like total babes in it.
yeah. And listen, just to show that it's not always dudes. Like we
Right,
got
right.
equal opportunity perverts here.
It is mostly dudes, but
It's,
yeah,
yeah,
there is
it's mostly
one of the other
dudes.
kind so far,
But
yeah.
but so far, yeah, we've gotten one woman and all dudes.
It's like you can't say
But
it's literally all dudes
yeah,
anymore. There's
yeah,
like at
exactly,
least
exactly.
one.
We've got at least one on the docket here. Uh, our next 10-star writes, "This movie is totally the bomb. I love snakes now. The plot is easy to understand. A giant snake terrorizing people in the middle of the jungle. It's really fascinating. In your imagination, of course." What? Okay, good. That sentence makes sense. "The actors were great. The men were sexy, and the
Oh
anaconda
no.
is a killer. I always get chills when seeing it swallow a human whole. Jesus, guy. The special effects were really authentic. You could tell that director put his best work forward, and it was worth it. At first, I thought it was just a boring movie, but it turned out to be outstanding. A standing O." Every,
Oh yeah, I bet there was a standing O.
every time this movie comes on, I can't help but watch it. It's like Jaws, but with a snake, not a shark.
Stunning analysis.
Thank you for clearing that one up.
It's like Jaws, but with a snake and not a shark.
Listen, Jim, we got two of them now. We went a long deficit, but we got two girls calling for sexy men.
Yeah, that was something.
And they're also the first girl, sexy men, thinks monkeys are hot. Second girl, men were sexy, gets chills when snakes swallow people whole. Like,
Yeah, I think we're on to something here where maybe the target audience, like this is like, um, not unlike 50 Shades of Grey. Like, like when you think about it, snakes are very phallic. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah, you're right.
Like this movie is all about the size, baby.
This just
Like,
speaks to the primal urge in all women.
yeah, and they see these long, slithery snakes. They see Morris Chestnut. I'm just saying, I think they might be onto something here.
She's like a standing O in more ways than one, baby.
Like those DVD sales, in
Yeah,
the
right.
privacy of your own home. I don't know, like,
She's like, it's like Jaws, but better because I can get off to this one.
right?
Nothing phallic about sharks. Oh my lord, man. We got one last tenor, and I don't know if anything can be topped after the last two, but let's see if we can get there, Jim.
Yeah. I
Much
mean,
like the
feel free
last
to
person
disagree
got there.
though too. We don't. I mean, it's up to you.
Well, let's see what they got for us. This person writes, "This is one very scary movie. The original is also very scary, but this sequel is scarier. Very
Whoa.
scary, in fact. It has a great story. It also has great acting. It also has great special effects. If you do not get scared by this movie, then no movie will scare you. Some scientist goes into the Amazon to find an orchid that they think could be the cure for cancer. They find big men eating snakes. This is very scary. One mistake they made One mistake they made is that there are no tigers, but still, no big deal. Cool movie. That is, should be no big deal. This movie, must see. It is very intense. You may not want to watch it alone. Try not to scream in terror. If you thought The Exorcist was scary, then you are in for one big surprise.
Okay. So like, this one is tough because
Go
I
either way.
think that what might be going on here is like English as a second language, so that's
That's
why
what I
they're
meant.
being very repetitive. But then I also wouldn't put it past a really good troll to like write it as if it was like English was their second language. You know what I mean?
Also, great special effects, Jim.
Also, no, I just love they use the word scary about 8 times in the first 2 sentences of that review.
It's amazing. This is scary. I mean, the original was scary, but this
The
scary.
original was scary, but this was scarier, yeah.
Oh God, gotta love it. I think my favorite line is just they go in search of the Amazon for a cure for cancer. Instead, they find big men eating snakes.
Very scary.
Big men eating snakes. Which makes it sound like they found big men that were eating the snakes and not big
Yeah,
snake eating men.
it does kind of make it sound like that. You're not wrong.
Which is just like, oh, chef's kiss. That's fucking so goddamn good. But all right, Jim, now I turn it over to us. Where do you fall on this movie is such crap because they don't give a fuck about geography all the way to this movie very scary, very, very scary.
Somewhere in between those two things. Closer to this movie's crap part, but not because of anything to do with geography. I didn't even know where Borneo was until that review, so
That's true. We learned something here today in our one-star reviews. Borneo is in Indonesia.
this movie stinks. It
Yeah.
stinks so bad.
Yeah, I don't even think there's like a sugar coating to be had anywhere. Like this is got to be one of the worst things we've watched so far for this podcast, I feel like.
The opening was pretty cool. Like the opening scene, like when the guy and there was a tiger in that, by the way.
There was a tiger. So I don't know what that guy was talking about. We had one tiger.
I did the opening I thought was pretty cool. And then like it went to that scene with Morris Chestnut in that boardroom,
Jim,
which is
that boardroom scene has to be one of the most insane setups for a movie I think I've ever seen in my life. Like it's unreal. Like watching that, I was like, four people to write that scene. Four people. When
it's
they
like
when they finally like hook him in with like everything that this flower can do, and the one dude's first thought is to just go, "This will be bigger than Viagra."
yeah, great line, great line. That's a highlight of that scene for
That's a
sure.
that's an all-timer line right there.
The part that absolutely stumped me, I kind of hinted at it a little bit earlier, but this exchange basically word for word was the executive goes, "You sold us a bill of goods. You promised us things like the cure for the common cold and cancer drugs, and you didn't deliver, right?" Good setup because wow, man, is Morris Chestnut in some hot water? He promised them a whole lot of things, and there's no way he was going to deliver those things, right? Morris Chestnut's response is, "We delivered you everything we promised." And then the movie promptly never talks about that again. Like, what he's saying right there is he gave them the cure for the common cold. He's like, we know we delivered it. And then they're not like, they're just like, they're never like, no, you're right, you did actually. Or like, no, you didn't. They just move on as if like that was the end of that conversation. And that's like the first like two or three lines of the movie, and it just absolutely sets the tone for the ride you're about to be on. You know what I mean? It's so bad.
They're just like, listen, none of this is going to make a lick of sense. And every time you start to think
Right,
about anything, you're going to absolutely hate yourself.
right. And he's like, tell him, John.
Yeah.
Like,
John gives him the rundown. And the guy's just like, well, what are you waiting for? Get your ass to Borneo. But also, like, all of them are just like the R&D team. Why would any of them have to be the ones to go to Borneo? Like, wouldn't you just send people there? Like, why would you guys be the ones to go?
right. And they talk about it like as if they're some kind of experts. But literally none of them at any point in the movie shows off any kind of expertise. Like none of them. Maybe the riverboat captain, but the computer guy I guess has some cool like programs, but he's the only one who has like any reason to be there as far as I can tell. Like more the other two guys are just like, yeah, we're gonna get the flower, and that's all they ever say. You know what I mean? Nobody's like a biologist or like anything, you know? It's very odd.
Absolutely insane. And I think further to that point is, something we talk about a lot in movies. It applies in comedies, it applies in horror movies, especially this one, is that like like horror movies function based on your characters doing stupid things. But like, my God, is do you have to kind of like some of the ones that are going to live by the end of this? But I hate every single person in this movie. Like the one research and development chick that is like beefing with Morris Chestnut like the whole entire movie. She is fucking insufferable, but just makes it out by the end of this movie. Like throughout
Oh
the
yeah,
entire movie, she's insufferable.
right. She
Like,
doesn't do a single thing that's like
yeah, she's
interesting
vain.
for starters. That's the first problem.
Yeah, and she's vain throughout the whole like first setup of it to make you be like, all right, like I can't wait for this girl to die now because she's being so like stuck up. I don't want to be here. This is beneath me. Like I want like the shower. So like you're like, all right, she's gonna get her comeuppance for like being so vain. And then they're just like by the end of it, she's just like, nope. And then they're on the river at the end, and she's like, I need my shower. And they just like laugh it off as we ride out into the sunset. And I was like, fucking goddamn it, man. Like
Yeah, they're all like, "Oh, that's right. You did want to take a shower." Like, it's so
but
bad.
like we've learned absolutely nothing. Like it's fucking brutal.
Yeah, and like I'm almost gonna use the word likable, but I hate using that word for movie characters because I really don't think that's what makes them watchable or not, like, or interesting. But they need to at least be relatable, and nobody in this movie is remotely relatable. Like, I don't care about their hunt for the blood orchid flower because I don't know anything about the people. You know what I mean? Like they set that up so quickly and the first scene is so ridiculous. I don't care about them at all, you know? Same thing with the chick you were just talking about where like I sort of get what like she's supposed to be kind of, but even that I don't have a clear picture of, you know? And I
They,
have
they
no
kind of
idea what's motivating her. Like at any point, except later on, I guess, to get the bath, you know?
they also like set her up as like going to be our female lead because she's the one in the boardroom and is like the first introduction to play off Morris Chestnut. And then she just gets relegated to the background as the blonde chick becomes the one with Johnny
Right.
Messner. So it's just
Right.
like
And I think the blonde chick was in the boardroom also, maybe? Like I think she
I
was.
completely forgot if she was because like I don't think she says a fucking line in that
She
entire
didn't
board.
say a word.
Yeah.
They
She
showed a
was just
reaction shot of like a blonde lady in the boardroom, and I think it was supposed to be her, but I'm not even 100% sure.
wait, Jim, you're telling me you didn't relate to the one dude who had the courtside Knicks tickets that he was missing this game?
Yeah, well, no, he was the only relatable guy in the whole movie. And then I don't know if maybe this is just because this movie came out in 2004, but all of those guys' lines aged like milk, dude. Like they are, they sound like every single one sounds so cringy in 2025. Like at one point he's like, "Yeah, Katie, you're the bomb." Like it's like, and the way he says
Just
it is so lame.
it's just all stock lines, and everything just feels like it's like they took and found every cliche from other movies and then put like the most derivative version that they can do in this one. Like the
Oh,
one guy, like the one guy when he's in the water, the first dude who dies, and he does like the Jaws thing to the girl in the back, where it's like the da 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 da. Or like
hmm.
later they do the classic like the blonde chick's trying to get to know the riverboat captain's like backstory, and he's like, "It's a long story," and she's like, "Where else do we have to go?" And then the story is literally that he was just like in the military and then left and came here, and it was like, "Oh, what a
Right.
story, bro!"
And then even she says that she's like, that's not really that long as like stories go. Like that was a pretty quick one, honestly.
Like, what a sordid tale, bro.
Yeah, and how can we not talk about the riverboat captain, dude? The scene introing the riverboat captain is
I mean,
so ridiculous.
it's so absurd.
Like it's like it is we I think called SWAT the most 2000 and whatever movie. This might take the cake as the most 2000 whatever movie because that scene, they go into the bar and they're just like to the bartender. The only words they say is Jinsoon, which is the captain's name. And the guy's like all solemnly like points to the corner, you know? It's such a ridiculous trope from movies. It's so played out. And then like the whole switcheroo where like they're like he doesn't even point out the real Jinsoon. He points out like Jinsoon's like first point of contact. It's so
His hot
silly.
Asian buff guy.
Yeah. And then of course Jinsoon is like just some generic white dude. Like because
Need to get
God
away from the
forbid,
humdrum of the military.
right, God forbid we have an Asian riverboat captain in Indonesia. Like we need
Can't have
we
that, bro.
need some like generic
Who's
white dude.
who's the
We need
blonde girl gonna fall in love with if we don't have a generic white guy as the riverboat
we
captain?
need yeah. We need the 2004 version of Scott Eastwood. Like just toss him in there.
I love that they do that like every time because like they did that in like Jungle Cruise also. Like The Rock is like like the riverboat captain. They're in like some random South American country.
Yeah, yeah. Cause it's gotta I don't know, I guess it's gotta like play on your expectations, but the intro is incredible, and then the riverboat captain is maybe one of the worst performances I've ever seen in a movie. It's like so
Dude, when
so
when
spectacularly bad.
when he delivers the line when the one girl freaks out about the monkey and he's like, he lives here, you don't, and then just like walks off, and it was like, Jesus Christ, man, like what are we doing?
So bad.
It's like
He
an
had so
all-timer.
many epic one-liners in there though. Like I I don't even know where to start with the riverboat captain. He's like he's like toxic masculinity
Yeah.
like put into a person on screen, you know what I mean? Like he's just too cool, you know?
It's an all-time Razzie performance right there, like one of the greats.
Yeah, exactly. Which
Dude.
and he's really the guy that makes this feel like a straight to DVD movie too, by the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like he is just all over the place. Like they have him fight the crocodile.
I wish. Hold on. Let me see if I can go look up some of these quotes because he's gotta have some on here, and like I gotta see if I can read them off. I should have written them down while I was watching it, but I
He
didn't. So here
he
we are.
when every line that he delivers is just like an all-time like bit of nonsense. It's just like absolutely in control. One of my favorites is when they get out of the cave at the end, and then the snake comes out of the trees and attacks the one dude with his backpack on and drags him off, and he just goes like, "Oh no," and then just chases after him. It's like, for God's sakes, man. It's like
Absolutely.
it's just it's so so bad. It's like, oh my God. It's just one of the most also like has to be one of the most unhinged villain performances of all time. Cause like talk about that dude going from 0 to 1 million in like 5 seconds throughout all of this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they went from being like, we're gonna go get this flower to being like, I'm going to murder my best friend that I work with so that I can go get this flower still.
See, I think that's the part they set up the best out of the whole thing. Not that it's very hard to set up, but like it makes sense to me that like they do a good job of explaining how much money they're gonna make off of this. Like they do a good job like this
But yeah,
guy's gonna
well
be
when it's
like the
well when they
richest man in the world. You
yeah,
know what
well
I
when they
mean? Like
set it up that the flower is going to cure everything, like and basically grant you immortality, like
right. So like I get what I'm trying to say is though I could see somebody going to murder for that kind of
yeah.
money. You know
No,
what I mean?
and I talk more that it's like just blends in with the ridiculousness, but it's I think that is the one ridiculousness of this movie that's actually entertaining for me is watching that dude spiral into just becoming like I will murder every single one of you for this.
Yeah, it was so insane that he murdered Morris Chestnut by throwing the spider on him.
Yeah. Like something so simple.
Like, I mean, like that is something that paid off from before, but like it was just such a silly way to murder him because it was like so obvious that you were gonna get caught. You know what I mean?
All
Like,
right. Like they were gonna find that like immediately, like when they go to
right?
get him and he can't move.
Yeah. And I also loved he like threw the spider on him, but then he also made sure he like bottled it back up really quickly. Like it was like I
Listen,
was waiting for him
never
when he was reaching for his gun. I didn't realize he had a gun, and I said it to my girlfriend. I'm like, he's gonna throw the spider on everybody. Like
so you
I could
never
have
know when you're gonna need to
sworn that he was like reusing it. Like
you never know when you're gonna have to reuse that spider, man. He's gotta bottle it back up.
yeah. But I mean, we're talking about the highlights here, I think. Um, And the Riverboat Captain is like really fun to watch, even if it's like a really terrible performance. Like he's also the guy, he makes it a straight to DVD movie, but he also pushes it almost over the line of like, this is actually so bad it's good, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but holy crap, the middle of this movie is so bad.
Yeah, when it's just like slowly picking like everybody off. They're just like he's just hacking his way through the jungle. It's just like it's literally like 25 minutes of them just hacking through bushes.
Yeah, right, right. And like nothing is happening. I mean, like, and like it almost feels like at a point that most of the characters that are in the movie are literally just snake bait. Like he brings in like the other boat captain,
Just to
and
kill
that boat
him.
captain gets eaten within like 3 minutes of him
Dude,
existing in the movie.
that led to one line in particular that like blew me away because I was just like I was so confused because at first after they have the absolutely ridiculous scene where they all go over the waterfall and miraculously survive without like a scratch on them, he gets the satellite phone out and calls his buddy to be like, meet us there, like, and I'll give you money. And then when they get to the wreckage of that dude's ship, they're talking about like we could walk up. And one of them goes, I hope to God there's a phone. You have a phone.
Right. They've had a
Like,
satellite phone the whole time. And then that's even a thing that comes up later where like the one dude is like hiding the fact that the satellite phone is working.
but it was like, you used it already.
Right, yeah, and unless I missed something like where they said it was broken again, like it was like working already. Like you weren't hiding anything from anybody, you know? Like,
It's like it's, every part of this movie, they were just like, who cares, bro? Just write it.
right? Yeah. And like it's a shame because this movie, I think the reason it's not so bad it's good for me is that the snake parts of it are very underwhelming in 2025. You know what I mean? Like it's
Just
very
lame.
much like early 2000s like wow, isn't it amazing we can put any CGI snake on screen? Like look at it just do a very basic thing, you know what I mean?
It looks horrible. Like the CGI is
Right.
aged like fucking trash, dude. It every time, like when that snake attacks the first dude in the water and like it comes and like hits him in the face and like they just watch the like huge body slither out into the water. I'm like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Like this is we thought this was good back then. Like this is
Right.
horrific.
And they were leaning on it so hard, and it's not good that it's like it holds it back from being so bad it's good for me,
Which is
if
another
that
thing.
makes sense.
Yeah, which I think is another thing that lends itself to just like how well the first one is aged compared to this one, because there's something to be said of like the practicality of like making the puppet snake in the first one that stays with you and looks so much more terrifying than these like weird CGI snakes that they do. Like I swear to God, when the one comes out of the ceiling to kill Morris Chestnut, it looks like a copy and paste job from a cutscene from the first Resident Evil game where you fight the snake in the house. Like
Yeah,
it's that
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, and they do this weird thing where like they give them all like the faces are so ridiculous. The faces look so fake, you know what I mean?
Because they make them so comically large. Like it's just like, yeah, the
Yeah.
plant makes them live forever. So like they just keep
Dude, I'm
getting
not gonna
bigger.
lie though. Like there was points in this movie where I was like, this feels like it wasn't an Anaconda sequel. It was just like another movie. And then they were like, listen, the only way this movie gets made is if we turn it into an Anaconda sequel, okay? Like,
I mean, it's happened plenty of
but then
times
like I
before.
did like though the way that they tied the Blood Orchid back into why the Anacondas were so big. I think that's like one of the things the movie does well, like where those two things jive together.
Well, I mean, like it's at least an explanation for like the shit happening around you. So it's just like it's like such an easy olive branch to give them because it's like, all right, cool, you guys did screenwriting 101 there. Like,
Right, but also like on a different level, like you're making it so that the thing that makes this journey so dangerous is also the thing that makes it worthwhile. You know what I mean? And like there's something interesting about that, you know?
yeah, it's absurd. And it's like also insane to me they have four people survive by the end of this too.
Yeah, I was only expecting one or two. I thought it was just going to be the riverboat captain and the blonde girl by the
Me
end.
too. Yeah. So like they gave the twist that the other two also survive. The next guy and the girl that needs the shower.
Yeah, the Knicks guy should have died like at least four times. Like there was,
In that
he
cave.
got saved.
It's insane he made it out of that cave. It's oh my God. It's just one of those movies that like you look at and you watch and you're just like, how like every step of the way writing this, like how did anyone see the script and be like, yeah, send this into production?
I mean, it's a thing we see get worse and worse over the years. Although after watching this, maybe it gets not necessarily worse and worse. Maybe sometimes it's better than others, right?
I don't know. Like this is pretty
Um,
bad.
but like they know that they don't need to put a lot of effort into this. Like so like put yourself in a movie executive shoes, right? You read a script and you were like, yeah, this is probably pretty cool. It could like use some development, like, and then we can make this into a movie. And then at some point you make it the Anacondas sequel, right? And you get your third draft back from your second team of writers. And at some point, don't you just be like, all right, this isn't great, but like it's the Anacondas sequel. What if we just keep the budget really low? Like, can we just make this now rather than like hiring another team of writers? You know what I mean?
Uh,
Like I think that those kind of practical conversations are a part of this that
I
we don't
get,
necessarily think about from the
yeah,
outside looking
I
in,
get
you know?
I get them being pragmatic in that sense, but you know, the end result is it really worth it?
I mean, it depends on what worth it for what, I
It's
guess.
true. Yeah, as a piece of art,
Not for me ever wanting to watch this again. You
as a
know?
piece of film history.
Right.
Joining the annals of film history is Anaconda's Hunt for the Blood Orchid.
Was it worth it though to have a movie that turned a small profit that came out in the end of August? Like probably, you know?
Probably
Like
gave us three more direct to DVD sequels with a reboot on the
right.
way.
Exactly. Yeah.
We got ourselves a franchise, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's like it's a movie that's almost so bad that it's good, but it's not so bad that it's good, which just means it's bad, you know?
It's, I mean, there's moments. of like so bad it's good, but it doesn't sustain itself throughout the whole movie. So there's many large parts of this movie where you're just like, I fucking hate this.
Yeah, and it like almost we say this a lot, but like the core of it's almost there. Like I could definitely get into a movie. You could pitch me a movie about a riverboat captain somehow driving his like losing his boat and being stuck in the jungle. Like there's a way to make that movie cool, I think, you know.
And
I don't
again with
think
Jungle
this
Cruise.
movie is it. It's what?
He did it again with Jungle Cruise. That's exactly what happens in Jungle Cruise. They're riverboat
I mean,
cat.
and it's like literally like the idea of immortality is a huge part of Jungle Cruise.
Yeah,
Like it's like basically the same movie,
yeah, they
honestly.
just
Wow, when
swapped
you think
out
about it.
and they just swapped out anacondas for like Aztec undead warriors.
Right. For some reason, the only thing we can think of that's worthwhile to drive into the jungle for is like flowers. Like,
There's cures out there, man, that we haven't even thought of yet. The jungle's holding all the potential.
yeah. It works way better in Jungle Cruise though, because Jungle Cruise is like an action movie. Like the fight scenes in Jungle Cruise will age way better than the CGI horror Anacondas will. You know what I mean? Or ever would have.
No, for sure. Even though I think I would rather never watch either of those movies again, I definitely would give the
I
advantage to Jungle Cruise.
I kind of enjoy Jungle Cruise. I don't know.
Did you? I only watched it the one time when it came out, so I would have to give it a rewatch, but I don't remember particularly enjoying it.
I mean, it's not like good, but it's way better than this movie was for
That's
sure.
for sure. I mean, come on. We were in the dog days of summer here. Nothing. We weren't hitting anything that was touching classic property.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I have too much else to say about this turd.
There's not much else to say. Not much else. The only thing that's crazy to me is that I guess they dropped like the bag of the flowers or whatever at the end, but it seemed to me like if you had already gone that far, you'd probably want to try and hang on to those. Like,
You might as well make the trip a little worthwhile. Like immortality, come on, take it. It's yours.
right. Right, like they were like one like little knapsack full of flowers away from like four out of like seven surviving and everybody making like tens of billions of dollars. It's like, man, I don't know. I maybe would have just given it to him, you know?
I would just caught it and then just open up like a philanthropic charity in there in all the dead people's names.
Before we
Or
move on,
okay,
I want to ask you,
yes.
do you like agree that the core of this movie is there? And then like what movie do you think is the best way to do the riverboat captain journey into the jungle?
Yeah, I mean, like the bones are there to make this an interesting movie. I don't know if like a group of anacondas like stalking like immortality anacondas is quite the way. Um yeah, I don't really know how you make this good.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, like, I don't even know if it's necessarily how you make Anacondas good, but what's the
But
best
like the
riverboat
riverboat.
captain movie you can think of?
Oh, I
And
don't
it
know. What
doesn't already exist, because the only other one I can think of is like Jungle Cruise, or what's that one? It's
does
like
it have to
older.
be? Does it the African Queen that we watched?
The African Queen, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Yep.
that one was good. Does it have to be riverboat going into jungle, or could it be like maybe like a white water rafting people going into like lost in the woods?
So without a paddle?
Is that kind of like the same concept?
So without a paddle, that's the movie you want to
Well,
make?
no, I was thinking the River Wild, but we could go without a paddle if you want also.
Yeah, I guess the River Wild's the same idea, yeah.
Like it's the same concept. Like you're going down a body of water and you're getting lost in the wilderness and you're finding a set of obstacles. It's the man versus jungle, man. Man versus nature.
I think this movie might already exist, actually. Have you ever seen the movie Jungle starring Daniel Radcliffe?
Excuse me?
Dude, you've never seen Jungle?
No, I've never even heard of that.
Dude, okay. It might be The Jungle, but I'm pretty sure it's just called Jungle. Um, Daniel
Daniel Rad.
Radcliffe
Oh my God, dude. He'll do
is like a
anything.
traveler, and he like has a few travel buddies. Like one of them's like a photographer for like some magazine. And they're like big on like traveling to these exotic locations. And so they go to, I don't know. I think it's somewhere in South America, but maybe it's Borneo for all I know. You know what I mean? Who knows? Um, and a tour guide there convinces them to go on he's gonna take them into the jungle and bring them to this like uncontacted tribe so that they can like hang out with this tribe for a few days and then come back.
Okay.
And they just get lost in the jungle. Like like
Okay. All right.
and I think it's like a rafting thing, and like the gist of it is like Daniel Radcliffe spends most of the movie alone. Like he like gets separated from everybody and he's just going crazy in the jungle for like weeks.
Interesting.
I
I
think that might be the best version of this, although it's not even that good at the end
was
of the
gonna
day.
say, yeah, like, is that movie even any good?
No.
Do we
It's-
have? Do you have a list of riverboat movies? Is there
you know
a?
what?
Do you think someone's had to have compiled a list of riverboat movies, right? Like
That might be the move. Let's see if we can look this up really quick.
journeying down the river, finding ourselves in all sorts of adventure. Because there's plenty of those movies, like whether it's kayaking or without a paddle or you put yourself in any type of body of water. There's
Okay,
options.
so we're gonna go through some movies, and there might be a little bit of like
Does
squinting you have to do to make some of these fit, but let's
would
go
you
through a couple of these.
would you count Deliverance as one of these? Walking
Kinda.
down the
Well, let's go through
backwoods.
this list, and then I'm gonna re-ask you that question at the end
Okay,
of it.
okay.
And I think the move might be like boat survivalist movies is maybe the best way to put this, right?
Let's no, but that sounds about right because that's kind of like the genre that this really is.
Right. So I'm looking at a few movies here. We've talked about The River Wild. We talked about The African Queen. We've obviously done Titanic. I don't think that one quite fits.
I don't think that one fits. Yeah, that
We've
one's
done The
open body
Perfect
of water.
Storm. I think that
Mm.
one actually fits a lot better than Titanic does. I think it does.
I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know if sailing out into the open water counts as much, but
that's fair. That's fair. Um,
but
I
I'd
am
give
gonna
you Perfect
ask you.
Storm before I'd give you Titanic.
I'm gonna ask you next because I think this one fits really well.
Okay.
Do you take Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid, or Life of Pi? I think that counts.
Why do you think Life of Pi? Isn't he also Lost at Sea? Why does Life of Pi count?
It's like a boat journey movie. Like maybe it doesn't count. I don't know. But like the survivalist part of it is there. Whereas like Titanic to me is more of like a disaster movie, and Perfect Storm is like somewhere in between those two, but probably a little closer to disaster. I would say Life of Pi is more about like surviving in like bad conditions on a boat slash raft.
Though there's too much of in Life of Pi the question of how much actually happened versus the survivalist tale. Like
I mean, that's fair.
it's not a straight shot survivalist because by the end he asks you the question like what would you rather hear? Like this fantastical story about a dude surviving all these odds with this tiger, or do you want to hear the truth that like I was just like stranded in a boat for like 5 days?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're griping over the fact that this boat survivalist movie is actually good. I think that's your
All
gripe.
right, guy. All
Like,
right, all right,
because I
all
think
right.
what you just said is still a movie about surviving on a boat. Like, you know what I mean?
Wait,
Like,
you're not wrong. All right, I'll give you Life of Pi. I'll give you Life of Pi. And
okay.
obviously
And
I would take Life of Pi.
I'm not gonna lie, you're probably gonna have to squint for a couple of these, so bear with me. Um, this one's maybe a little bit closer to home. Do you take Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchard? Or do
Okay.
you take Captain Ron?
Yeah.
Captain Ron, dude, Captain Ron is a boat captain movie. That
Oh
counts.
my god. All right, I'll give you Captain Ron. Because obviously I would take Captain Ron.
Right,
That's
obviously.
a Kurt Russell classic right there.
Yeah, absolutely. See, like a lot of these, that's the least open water of them. A lot of the rest of these are open water kind of
Open
movies.
water ones, which is weird. Like, because there's definitely a sub-market of downriver
Well, what do
boat
you have in
movies.
mind? Because the next one I was going to ask about was Adrift.
Never even heard of that.
Yeah, you have. You were working at the theater when it came out.
Was I? Were we? Who's in it?
Yeah, it's
Oh, the Shailene Woodley, right?
yes.
Isn't it? Never
Yes.
saw it. Never saw it.
Shailene Woodley.
Fucking shit. Yeah, never saw it. Yeah, these are all just like surviving out on the open sea. Little bit different from where we're trying to
So then Death on the Nile is definitely a riverboat movie.
Oh, all right, yeah, there we yeah, Death on the Nile is
Okay, so hold on. Let me hone in on riverboat movies here. Death on the Nile, but you're obviously going to take that over this one.
yeah. Mhm.
Jungle Cruise is on here, which obviously I think Jungle Cruise takes the cake.
Yes.
Uh, I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball at you here. What about Maverick starring Mel Gibson? A good chunk of that movie takes place on
I
a
mean,
on
yeah,
a
a good portion does take place on a riverboat.
on a riverboat casino, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how like lost the riverboat gets in it, but semantics will.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we gotta lose the lost part of it because I think that's what's really like that's why we're ending up with so many open water
It's
movies.
true. It's true. It's true. Obviously Maverick. I have one actually. Thinking of riverboats now too. I don't know if you saw it, but it was this past year, 2025. Paddington in Peru.
I did not see it yet.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the riverboat, and the riverboat gets destroyed, and they got to make their way. They get lost in the jungle.
Oh, okay. I would imagine that that's a better movie than Anacondas. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 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 for sure, for sure, for sure.
I got one more for you.
Okay,
Do you take Anacondas, Hunt for the Blood Orchid, or Apocalypse Now?
fuck off.
That's a riverboat movie, dude. That's a riverboat movie. There's no two ways about it. They're on a riverboat for so long.
On that like pontoon.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a little bit
Uh,
heady, but it's still kind of an adventure. Like they're on a
no,
mission for the
no, no.
army. Like,
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Obviously, Apocalypse Now. Even though I'm not as obsessed with that movie as other people are.
no, me neither. I do think I kind of want to rewatch it because I do love like every scene that Marlon Brando's in. I think he's like an absolute nutcase in that movie, and it's awesome.
Too bad. I'm pretty sure that's only like the last 20 minutes of the
I
movie.
know, I know, I know, but he like steals the show for me. It's such a crazy way for that like whole journey to end, you know? Like it's this like journey like winding, it feels like it has no point, and then you get to the end and you're like, oh man, that guy was living that same life for a whole time a long time and he's a lunatic now. Like
Oh man.
yeah, that's I think if you guys can think of any more riverboat movies, let me know. That was like a tough one. I think we found a good number of them though.
Yeah, yeah, I think we found more than we were expecting there. But
Only award.
it's got to be a Razzie. There's no fucking way.
So, just because you said that, I will talk. It gets two nominations, so this will be quick. Uh, at the Screen Music Awards, Australia,
Of course.
it gets it gets nominated for Best Soundtrack Album.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
This
Maybe there was like a cool like movie soundtrack to this.
was there though? I don't
Interesting
remember them
though.
playing any music in it other than just like music they wrote for the movie. Like there's no like actual songs in it.
Yeah,
I'm looking at
interesting
it
thing
right
about
now.
the
It's
Screen
just a
Music
film score.
Awards, Australia. There's only four categories, and all of them only have one movie written underneath them, right? Two out of the four categories say winner, and then the other two just have nominees. So maybe there's a little,
Little bit of fishiness going on here at these awards.
yeah.
They created the awards just to nominate the soundtrack for Anacondas, and then they just retired.
Right, right. And then, as you aptly guessed, the only other award is a Razzie. It's a 2005 nominee for Worst Remake or Sequel. And I don't think we've done the 2005 ones yet. I'm going to go look at this really quickly, but if we haven't looked at this yet, we are gonna play the game that we've been playing.
Oh, I'm ready for it. Jim, I just want to say, going off of getting this big win for its soundtrack, this soundtrack does have some of the greatest song titles I think I've heard for a movie soundtrack. Uh,
Does it? Does it
yeah.
really?
Oh yeah, let me just lay a few of these at you. Almost a Kiss. Crossing the Bog. And my personal favorite, Jack's Devious Deal.
Wow, and Jack is who's Jack? Jack's the evil dude, right? The
I'm
guy
pretty
who
sure it's
like is like
I'm
pointing
pretty sure
guns
it's
at
the bad
everybody.
guy. Yeah,
Okay.
man, just yeah, fantastic titles there.
We have talked about this, by the way. The winner
We
of
have
Worst Remake or Sequel was Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. So we have
classic.
brought this up before.
Yeah, deserve it. I don't know. I think I would give it to this over fucking Scooby Doo too.
Easily, easily.
This is
And Alien
way
versus
worse.
Predator was in there also, which
Ooh,
I
yeah,
mean we did a couple weeks ago. Both of those I think are worse than Scooby-Doo 2.
me too. I think this one still is the worst out of all three of those, though. Like, if you put a gun to my head right now and we're like, you have to watch either Anacondas or AVP, which one would you pick?
Damn, I think it's Anacondas.
Really?
Yeah, I
Man,
think I would rewatch Anacondas first because I thought AVP was a
that's
real
great.
giant waste of time.
I think both of
Not
these
that
are.
this wasn't,
Yeah, I was
but
gonna say, I think
this was closer to It's So Bad It's Good than AVP
than
was for me.
AVP
So
was.
this would be my pick.
Dang.
You would pick AVP, I guess, based
Yeah,
on
I
that
think I
reaction?
think I would sit through AVP more than Anacondas, but both of them are a fucking torturous waste of time. Now, you convinced your girlfriend to watch this with you? I heard you.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a convincing because like the the last like month or so where we've gotten to watch AVP and Anacondas 2 might be her favorite stretch of me asking her if she wants to watch podcast movies.
Really?
Yeah, she loves both of the movies I just mentioned. She
Wow.
like
Wow. All right.
she's aware it's bad, but she's like it definitely crosses into so bad it's good territory for her. They're like her favorite kind of movie.
All right. So there we go. All right. I'm glad at least one out of the three of us got enjoyment watching this because Heather wasn't touching this with a 6 foot pole.
Yeah, good for Heather, honestly. I kind of envy her for not having to watch it.
Yeah, this and
Oh, to have
AVP.
the choice to continue to not see Anacondas, the Hunt for the Blood Orchard, if only.
Yeah, if only, Jim. Unfortunately, you're not so lucky. But all right, I think with that, we're ready to turn our attention to those store ratings.
Yeah, I agree.
Do I even have to guess what drop we're getting?
This is the most unpleasant movie to look at that I can remember. Gene, I sat there appalled. They put almost nothing on the screen.
Yeah, you're right, Raj. They did put almost nothing up on the screen. Do you think Raj would have been happy with that drop?
I mean, he has to be, right? Like, there's no way. If Raj says, like, 3 stars for Anacondas, the Hunt for the Blood Orchard, we're gonna riot, dude. It's gonna look like LA on this podcast.
We're gonna. Oh, Jesus, guy. Too soon. Too soon. Raj gave this 2 stars.
2 even sounds so high.
I know. Yeah. Was not a fan of it, but he praised Matthew Marsden's performance as being suitably treacherous.
Oh, Matthew Marsden was the bad guy.
Was the bad guy. Yeah. So
Okay.
the I guess the thing he liked about it is the same thing we liked about it. I don't know if I'd go as far to be like, I'll give that 2 for that, but teach your own, Raj.
No, probably not 2. 2 seems a little high.
Yeah. But so I guess that kind of buries the lead there for where we're going for this, Jim. But let's hear it anyway. Let's hear that final rating for and thought for Anacondas.
I don't really have much else to say about it. I just thought, like, the first sentence I said I think was enough. This movie stunk. So I'm gonna give it half a star.
Ooh, a half a star from Jimbo. Yeah, I hated this thing too. It was just not enjoyable. This is not fun at all.
This
Uh,
was the first movie, I think it was the first movie where I genuinely thought about whether I wanted to give it 0 or not.
oh man, you really got there. You were thinking about it. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a oneer just simply for the like little bits of enjoyment that I got out of Matthew Marsden being like the absolute worst human being on the planet in this movie. But nothing else gave me any satisfaction in this movie. So the point five from you, Jim, and a oneer from me. Gonna give us a 1.5. Charting in the bottom, we have this is the lowest rating we've ever given of any movie is a 1.5. We have two other movies that we've given a 1.5 to. So let's see, will Anacondas take the cake as the worst movie that we've done? Or will this movie still reign supreme? So do we take Anacondas or Kung Pao Enter the Fist?
I'm gonna take Anacondas,
Ooh, Kung
and I'm
Pao,
not gonna think that hard about it.
Kung Pao, you're staying put because I'm also taking Anacondas.
Nice.
And then do you take the one other movie with a 1.5? Do you take Anacondas or do you take Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I'll take Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, I would also take that. I think that's a worthy spot right there. All right, so Anaconda's just avoiding the worst movie we've done so far, and it's going to settle in the number 82 spot, sandwiched in between those two movies, and a worthy place. And I hope for us to not return to this area for a little while.
Yeah, well, I mean, what was our next movie again? Because I
but
may have bad news.
bad news. Next movie is Resident Evil Apocalypse, so we may be here sooner than we think.
Yeah. It can't be this bad though, right? It can't be.
I don't know, Jim. I haven't touched it in a long time, so remains to be seen, but I'll be hopeful. A man can dream. A man can dream. What was the last thing you jammed on?
I am actually curious to see if you watched the show that we've talked about previously. Have you watched any of the episodes of Duster yet?
No, I haven't, but I actually have seen the thumbnail a bunch now. Because I've been on HBO Max because I've actually been watching The Wire recently. So I've seen a bunch of
Oh. Have you ever watched The Wire before?
yeah, no, I've watched it before. I've just
Okay.
it's been a long time and I couldn't think of something to watch. And I was like, it's been a long time since I've rewatched that. Like, let me, watch a little bit and see how far I get into it.
Yeah, that show is great.
Yeah, that one's an all-timer. So I have seen thumbnails for it though. Are you watching it?
I've watched I think I've watched two episodes of it to this point.
Yeah, I thought.
It does come out weekly, which definitely helps it in my book. Because at worst, I can binge like two episodes and I'm caught up, which I like.
Okay.
I'm still like 50-50 on it. I was curious to see if you had watched it because I wanted to see what you had thought about it. But I've watched it. It's like it seems like it's okay. Maybe a little cookie cutter, maybe a little stock, you know.
Gotcha.
I'm curious to see where it's going.
Interesting. Yeah, from the trailer, it seemed like it piqued my interest, but it also like at the same time was one of those shows where I was like, this could go either way.
It's off to it has enough of a base where I think it could get very good.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll give it. Maybe I think for that one, I'm going to hold off and I'll let you watch it. And at the end, you can tell me if it sticks the landing. And if it sticks the landing, then I'll watch it.
Okay. And then your thing you've been watching is The Wire. That's what you've been on?
But yeah, I just started doing that yesterday. I started watching a bunch of that. So that's what I've been jamming on right now is The Wire because I didn't really have anything else I wanted to watch. I hate sitting and scrolling through streaming sites trying to find a movie, so I just avoid that when I can.
Yeah, it takes forever sometimes,
It's
doesn't it?
it's the bane of my existence, and I fucking hate streaming services for doing it to me. You can get fucked. Uh, but yeah, so no movie recommendations for you this week, people. So if you haven't seen The Wire, you absolutely should see The Wire. And maybe give Duster a chance if you're looking for that next possible new fix for the summer TV watching. And don't watch Anacondas. Trust us on that one. Normally we say go out and form your own opinions on these things, but I think you could take our word to the bank for this one.
Now, listen, if I had to watch Anacondas, I think everybody should at least give it a shot.
Yeah, true. Yeah, if we have to suffer through it, you also at home should suffer through
Everybody who hasn't seen this movie has one up on me, so I want everybody to go out and watch it so that we're back on even
it.
footing.
Back to even Stevens there. So all right, so there you go. You got to get Jim back on an even keel. So you guys better get out there and watch Anacondas. And join us next week when we dive into Resident Evil Apocalypse. And as always, we'll see you at the movies.